Judiciary Committee, which is run by Republicans for a little longer, will subpoena James Comey and Loretta Lynch in its final days in power.
James Comey challenging them, tweeting this: House Republicans can ask me anything they want, but I want the American people to watch. So let's have a public hearing. Truth is best served by transparency. Let me know when it's convenient for you. House Judiciary Committee Bob Goodlatte says he prefers a closed-door hearing for this. He joins us now to explain. Mr. Chairman, thank you very much for being here. So James Comey wants it in public. You say more productive in private. Why?
Well, first of all, I'd like to know how many of the many investigations that James Comey conducted as FBI director and in his long career as a prosecutor and investigator that were conducted in public. This is an ongoing investigation, and it's imperative that we talk to each of the witnesses, and we've talked to many witnesses. We've interviewed them under oath with a transcribed interview, and they've been done in private. It is simply not appropriate for Mr. Comey to attempt to turn this into some kind of a public performance on his part, maybe to sell more books. I'm not sure what exactly his motivation is, but he knows that an investigation properly conducted gets testimony from each of the relevant witnesses, and then after that is completed, further action is taken. In our case, we want to complete this investigation, then we'll make all of the transcribed interviews available to the public so that they can see exactly what we've been investigating. But we're not going to have him testify in public so that other people can see him testify, and then suddenly their testimony seems to match up with his.
James Comey wants a grandstand. I'm shocked, Congressman. I wonder, specifically, the way I understand it is you had signaled in private again, as you say, to try to get this investigation completed to Democrats on the panel that you wanted to bring in Comey. Someone, it appears, leaked that and tipped Comey off, which is why he tweeted out, "I'm ready to talk publicly." I raise that question because it makes me wonder, when Democrats take over, do you think they're going to sweep some of this Comey business under the rug?
Well, that's a very serious concern, but that's been their pattern the entire time. Instead of wanting to get at the truth of what happened during the 2016 elections, when two investigations, one of the Hillary Clinton emails and another of the so-called Trump-Russia collusion, were launched, and the FBI, a small group at the head of the FBI, including Director Comey, treated one of these investigations entirely differently, shockingly differently than they did the other. They leaned over backwards to find reasons to not indict Hillary Clinton, and broke all kinds of rules as indicated by the Inspector General's several hundred-page report. With regard to the other investigation, they've gone the opposite direction.
By the way, Congressman, pardon me, recently
throughout this process,
recently we heard that James Comey used Gmail, used private email himself as FBI chief, and may have exposed sensitive information. Might that have clouded his judgment in terms of Hillary Clinton and her private server?
We've heard the same thing, and we have the same question.
Do you have to wrap your investigation in this lame duck Congress in order for it to happen, or can it continue?
Well, certainly I and Chairman Gowdy of the Oversight and Government Reform Committee are leaving office on January 3rd. However, we have already had conversations with Chairman Lindsey Graham of the Senate, who we think will be chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee, and Ron Johnson, who's the chairman of the Senate Oversight Committee, and they are very determined to pick up where we leave off. In addition, we have an Inspector General who is looking into these matters, and we have called for the appointment of a special counsel. So this is not going away. It's going to be brought to a conclusion. But our work is nearing its conclusion, and we want to get these interviews done.
All right. No doubt.
Thank you, sir.
Congressman, appreciate you coming in.
Appreciate your time.